The Kabaddi court measures 13 by 10 meters with a midline dividing the court into two halves. Within each half of the court, there is a balk line. A raider has to cross this line in each raid to make the raid legitimate. If a raider crosses the bonus line with his trailing foot in the air, when there are 6 or more opposition players on court, he gets a bonus point. Lobby. These yellow zones on each side of the court get activated and become a part of the play area only after there is a touch between a raider and a defender. Each team starts the game with 7 players on court and 5 substitutes on the bench. Of the 7 players in a team, there are 2 corners, who are primarily defenders. There are 2 ins, who are primarily the key raiders of the team. There are 2 covers, who are on either side of the center and are again primarily defenders. And there is 1 center, who is either an all-rounder or a third raider of the team. A raid starts when a raider enters the opposition court. The maximum duration of each raid is 30 seconds. And during the raider has to keep chanting the Kabaddi Kabaddi chant. A raider first has to cross the balk line to make the raid legitimate. Then the raider can claim a bonus point by crossing the bonus line if there are 6 or more defenders on court. However, while 1 foot of the raider has to be between the bonus line and end line, his trailing foot has to be in the air. Or the raider can initiate a touch on any of the defenders. Once a touch has been initiated, the raider has to return to the midline without breaking the chant within the 30 seconds of raid duration to make the raid successful. When a raider initiates a touch on the opposition player using his hand, it is called a hand touch. When he initiates a touch using his feet or toe, it is called a toe touch. Whenever a defender tackles the raider by catching hold of his thigh, it is termed a thigh hold. When a defender tackles the raider by catching hold of his ankle, it is termed an ankle hold. An ankle hold is typically performed by a corner defender. When a defender tackles the raider by positioning himself between the raider and the midline and blocks the raider from returning back to the midline, it is termed a block. When the raider is dashed out of court of play beyond the lobby by a defender, it is termed a dash. A dash is typically performed by a cover defender. If a raider returns back to the midline after crossing the balk line without initiating a touch or claiming a bonus point, the raid is considered to be an empty raid with no points for either team. If a team has done 2 back-to-back empty raids, the third raid becomes a do-or-die raid for the team, meaning the third raid can't be an empty raid with the raider necessarily having to score a point either by bonus or touch. In the event that the raider is unable to score a point in this raid, a point is awarded to the opposition team and the raider is deemed out. A super raid is a raid in which a raider takes 3 or more points. Both bonus and touch points are considered in a super raid. When a defending team has 3 or lesser defenders on court and they successfully tackle an opposition raider, an additional point is awarded and the tackle is called a super tackle.
कबड्डी 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 के मंत्रा के साथ। भाई जिंदगी आपको चांस दोबारा दे ना दे, लेकिन कबड्डी का खेल आपको दोबारा चांस जरूर देता है। अगर आप इस खेल से आउट हो जाते हैं तो आपको वापस आने का मौका मिलता है, लेकिन उसी क्रम में जिस क्रम में आप बाहर गए थे। मतलब अगर आपको सामने वाली टीम का कोई भी खिलाड़ी आउट कर देता है तो आप वापस आ सकते हैं अगर आपकी टीम का कोई खिलाड़ी सामने वाली टीम के खिलाड़ी को आउट कर दे। तो अगर आप खेल से बाहर हो भी गए तो घबराइए मत, खेल अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त। कबड्डी के मंत्रा के साथ। कबड्डी 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 कबड्डी।
5 rules of Pro Kabaddi. First, the raid. With the 30-second raid clock ticking, the raider enters the opponent's half with the first objective of getting past the balk line. The raider then looks to touch or tag as many defenders as possible. Second, the bonus point. The line parallel to the balk line is the bonus line. When the raider crosses the bonus line with 6 or more defenders on court, he earns a bonus point. Third, the lobbies. The yellow tram lines down the side are known as the lobbies, which only become active after a touch between the raider and the defender has been made. Fourth, the empty raid. This is one of the new rules of Star Sports Pro Kabaddi. If the raiding team makes 3 consecutive empty raids without scoring any points, the team loses a point and the raider from the third raid goes out. And fifth, the all out. Both teams start with 7 players each. If a team gets all 7 opposition members out, they earn themselves 2 all out points, while the opponents get all 7 men back on court.